My video for January 8th, 2018 is entitled The Cleansing and Reinterpreting My Dreams. Last night, I attended a group meditation. Ironically, my two nightmares from this past week, came to me with completely different meanings. The rising water in the more recent of the two was about cleansing. It was not about me as an individual. Likewise, the one that seemed to be an arrest of some sort related to what is reported to be happening in relation to the cabal. Those reports indicate the dark forces are being taken out one by one, totaling thousands. I was reminded of the teaching, don't take it personally. Indeed, since we are all interconnected in some way, that is often hard to fathom. The meaning of such dreams can be misunderstood if we do not see the bigger picture at first. Some suggest that time has run out for the elite to repent of their evil ways. Is that true? I do not know for sure, but I surely hope so. It's high time for divine justice to be applied. Yes, by the way, it's what, 20 minutes, 19 minutes to 4 in the morning, and I've already been up for over an hour and a half, or awake for over an hour and a half. Once again, I got very little sleep. I don't even think quite 4 hours of sleep, 3 to 4 hours somewhere. And I'm wide awake. Of course, I will go back to bed after I finish this video, but it's pressing on my mind to get it done. But the idea of seeing a dream that seems very personal and interpreting it in a bigger context is a challenge for me, because I take a lot of things personally. Some suggested last night in the meeting that I tend to be hypersensitive, and that hypersensitive people often take things very personally when they aren't necessarily meant to be that way. And I can see that objectively. Subjectively, sometimes it's challenging. And that's the thing that we all need to be able to do, is we need to be able to become more objective and less subjective in many aspects, because so many of the things that happen in our lives, including with people that we love and are our family and close relationships, we take them personally. For example, I have a very close friend who seems to be withdrawing from me, and the communication is not what it has been for a long time. And of course, that happens with friends and families. Not even, I said, I was thinking of one particular individual when I said that, but when I look at it, it crosses a wide range of my friends and people that I'm related to. Although one of my cousins, who is a minister, just friended me on Facebook, which I was really pleased to see. I don't know what's going to happen in there, what dialogue we're going to have with each other, but it is certainly interesting. And speaking of the fact that he's a minister, he's an evangelical fundamentalist minister, and my dealings with evangelicals and fundamentalists in general is that they tend to be very narrow-minded and think that they're the ones that are right, or that Christianity is the true religion, when Christianity, like all the other religions, have been tampered with. All of them have basic ideas that are true and applicable to all people, but we only tend to get our important information from the religion that we identify with. And by identifying with only one, we leave ourselves out of the ability of seeing the larger picture, and of seeing the interconnectedness of everything that's taking place. And so I appreciated being able to see last night in that meditation. I mean, it came to me, the meditation probably lasted, I'm going to guess, 15 minutes, maybe even 20. It was, again, a guided meditation. But it came to me right off the bat about these two dreams and about interpreting dreams. That was a fairly immediate response to the going into the meditative state with 9 other people. There were 10 of us in the group. So whether this is true or false, whatever is going on here on planet Earth, it's going to affect us individually, but more so collectively, because something is happening on a bigger scale. We're supposedly, Nibiru is supposedly coming more into our realm of existence, and that has a very elliptical orbit. It's the 10th planet, if you will, and it has a very elliptical orbit, and it, unlike the others that go around basically in a circle, this goes in a very huge oval, huge elongated oval. So if that is having an effect on what's going on this planet, and it's a positive effect, it's a time of change, it comes into our realm, I forget how many years. It's several thousand years, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be, I'm thinking 12,000, every 12,000 years it comes closer to the Earth and goes around the sun again. Is that true? As I've said in so many recent videos over the past year or two, I don't know anymore exactly what is true and what isn't, because there's been so much information and disinformation and misapplied information that it's difficult to determine what is real, what is true, what has to do with us individually and what has to do with us collectively. So folks, if you're having a problem comprehending what's going on, welcome to the club, because there's a lot of us that are there. Some that think that they have all the answers, they may not be so quick to admit that, because they don't see themselves as part of the bigger picture, even if they project that that's what they believe, that we're all one. Even if they project that, that's really not how we live our lives. It's not how I live my life. And yet, we may be rising in consciousness to some level so that we are able to see more of the interconnectedness of things. We are able to see how things relate to humanity as a whole, more so than just ourselves as individuals within humanity. So I don't know if this makes sense to any of you. I'm still wrestling with the concept myself. It does make sense at a certain level, but it's not the way, again, that I normally interpret things, the way that I normally see things. I tend and have tended for a long time to take things very personally, which I've been getting messages from a number of people. Don't take it personally, Ron. It's not about you. It's about the person who you think is judging you, but that's where they are, and let them be there, because they have to work through their issues the same as I have to work through mine. And we each have to work through our own issues and deal with what's on our plate and learn to reinterpret things on a more grandiose or massive scale, because we are connected to each other. Thank you for listening, and namaste.